welcome to Eagle News International Australia Oceania. I am Echo Hortaleza Quinola from Port Moresby, bringing you stories from Australia, New Zealand, and Papua New Guinea. These are the headlines. Victoria enters fifth lockdown after growing COVID-19 outbreaks. Southeast Queensland extends COVID-19 restrictions for another week. Greater Sydney lengthens COVID-19 lockdown until end of July. Papua New Guinea all set for second dose of COVID-19 vaccine rollout. Townsville City Council presents Ephemera art exhibition. And Filipino Association of Papua New Guinea strike back with Fundemic games. We begin our stories in Australia with news of Victoria's fifth lockdown since last year. Due to the growing clusters of COVID-19 outbreaks, Victorian Premier Daniel Andrews issued a 5-day snap lockdown, enforcing previous restrictions across the state. Our correspondent from Melbourne, Patricia Madronio, will share us more details. Patricia?
Victoria has entered its fifth lockdown since the global COVID-19 pandemic began. The Premier of Victoria, Daniel Andrews, announced last Thursday that on July 17 midnight, Victoria will be undergoing a 5-day snap lockdown until July 21 at 11:59 p.m., but it is uncertain whether or not this will end on the said date.
Traces of the coronavirus Delta variant were found to be the cause of the fast-growing outbreak of COVID-19 in Victoria, prompting the Victorian government to act rapidly to avoid the further spread of the highly contagious variant. Cases of the Delta variant were recorded from multiple exposure sites across the state. Victorians will need to stay locked down once again, with only 5 reasons to leave home, according to the statement released by the Premier: to purchase food and necessary supplies, to undertake outdoor exercise for up to 2 hours, no more than 5 kilometers from their places of residence, for care or caregiving, for work or education if at home is not possible, and to get vaccinated at the nearest possible location.
With hopes to combat the spread of the highly contagious Delta variant, the Victorian government has asked Victorians once again to cooperate for their collective health and well-being and to keep up the great effort that they have been exercising from the previous lockdowns that they have already gone through. Reporting from Melbourne, I am Patricia Madronio, Eagle News. We live in interesting times.
Thank you, Patricia. We hope to hear more positive news in the coming days. Meanwhile, in Queensland, areas in the southeast part of the state has extended implementing their COVID-19 restrictions to another week after continuous outbreaks and increasing cases. Eagle News correspondent Miyako Ong has more on this story. Miyako?
On the 29th of June, Greater Brisbane entered a 3-day lockdown after 5 local cases were confirmed. It was extended for 1 more day in Brisbane and Moreton Island. The original restrictions were in place for only 2 weeks after the lockdown. However, after the increase in local cases, the Queensland government decided to extend the restrictions for another week.
Queensland Premier Anastasia Palaszczuk decided to implement the restrictions for another week till July 26, 2021 on 6 a.m. due to the 3 new local cases confirmed on July 15. They are aiming for more tests and contact traces to keep Queenslanders safe. The Queensland Premier has also said that keeping the restrictions for another week would prevent further lockdown procedures. However, the City of Townsville's restrictions were lifted on July 16. Restrictions such as wearing face masks outdoor and social distancing are still in place. Gatherings are only up to 100 people in homes, but there is no limit for people gathering outdoor public places. Residents can still go to restaurants, cafes, or places of worship if they are socially distanced or maintain the 1 person per 2 square meters procedure. Wedding ceremonies, funerals, indoor events, and ticketed venues can only have 1 person per 2 square meters or 200 people. Queenslanders are urged to come home due to the rapid rise of cases in New South Wales and Victoria. Upon returning, Queenslanders must still observe a 14-day quarantine with government-arranged accommodation. Non-Queensland residents are not allowed to enter the state and must have a travel declaration to enter. New South Wales and Victoria are now considered COVID-19 hotspots.
Queensland now has 1,753 confirmed cases since March 2020 till July 16, 2021. Residents are urged to socially distance, wear masks outdoor, and maintain a proper hygiene. They must also check in using the Queensland app for effective contact tracing, stay home when sick, avoid traveling to hotspots, and get vaccinated. Reporting from Logan, Australia, Miyako Ong, Eagle News, and we live in interesting times.
Thanks, Miyako. We hope that everyone remains safe in Queensland. At the same time, in New South Wales, government authorities announced the extension of the lockdown for Greater Sydney and other affected areas as COVID-19 outbreaks continue to rise in an alarming rate for the past weeks. Eagle News correspondent Justin Vicente reports. Justin?
Australia was once renowned for its strategies in achieving COVID-0 during 2020. However, due to the Delta variant surge within the community, it has forced the country into a hard lockdown. Particularly, Australia's largest city, Sydney, which was originally placed in a 2-week lockdown, has now been extended to 1 month, with no definite confirmation on when it could possibly end. During late June, Greater Sydney entered its first ever lockdown in 2021 in an attempt to flatten the curve of the soaring COVID-19 cases. However, this first lockdown did not stop new daily cases from occurring, with numbers continuously rising by the day. Following this, Sydney's lockdown has since been extended until July 30, and just last Saturday, Premier Gladys Berejiklian has announced additional tighter restrictions as Sydney enters its highest peak of COVID cases it has seen in months. Only several types of businesses are now allowed to be open across Greater Sydney as lockdown restrictions drastically tighten. Though most stores are still available for click and collect or home delivery, stores which are considered essential for individuals to physically visit are supermarkets and grocery stores, as well as those for health and medical supplies. Furthermore, construction sites are now temporarily closed and employees must allow, if possible, for their employees to work from home or fines will apply. Indeed, with the current number of cases New South Wales has been facing these past couple of days, it is quite skeptical whether or not we will be exiting this lockdown by the said date. However, we can only hope that the restrictions will bring about a change to the current daily number of COVID-19 cases. Reporting from Sydney, Australia, this is Justine Vicente, Eagle News. We live in interesting times.
Thank you, Justin. We hope everyone will be able to go through challenges safely. After the break, we will hear about Papua New Guinea's rollout of the second dose of COVID-19 vaccines. Plus, let's learn more about Ephemera, the latest art exhibition presented by the Townsville City Council. And join us as we take a look at the exciting Fundemic Games organized by the Filipino Association of Papua New Guinea. All these stories when Eagle News International Australia Oceania returns. We'll be right back. Welcome back. You are watching Eagle News International Australia Oceania. Here in Papua New Guinea, another vaccine rollout is said to be in motion as the country will receive their second dose of the COVID-19 vaccines. Eagle News correspondent Angeline Mauricio Riboya has more on this story. Angeline?
Here in Papua New Guinea, the ongoing second dose of COVID-19 vaccination rollout is being administered now in different jab centers. The virus is still circulating and everyone is still at risk. The Rita Flynn Sports Center and the Netball Football Stadium were once again flocked with long queues as citizens and residents of Papua New Guinea were eager to take their second dose of COVID-19 vaccine. The full treatment regimen of AstraZeneca and Sinovac vaccines are now available in the country and were donated by the government of Australia, New Zealand, India, and China, as well as the Global COVAX facility.
Well, when PNG announced its first lockdown, that was actually a week before my flight to the Philippines. So my flight got canceled and I had to stay here. So at that very point in time, so probably almost 2 years now, I was already looking forward for the rollout of the vaccine that is tested safe for the people. So for me, it is essential that we complete the 2 doses of vaccination, as I believe it actually helps reduce the impact of COVID-19. It gives additional protection to my family, my friends, to the community, and to myself as well. So I'm really hoping that when most people, if not all, are vaccinated, we could probably go back to the normal ways of doing things, including traveling back to the different parts of the world, especially to our home country.
The authorities are also encouraging other eligible adults to avail of the vaccination program to fully utilize the available supply. The government believes that PNG is now reaching what they hope is the beginning of the end of the pandemic. However, the emergence of the Delta variant poses a threat to the community. Thus, passengers from international flights arriving in PNG will now have to be fully vaccinated and will undergo 21 days of quarantine to strain out the virus. In order to boost one's immunity from the spiraling coronavirus, receiving vaccination is a beneficial course of action. This is now the time to take action to help stop today's #1 global health enemy. Reporting from Port Moresby, Papua New Guinea, this is Angeline Mauricio Ribuya, Eagle News. We live in interesting times.
Thank you, Angeline. May all the residents avail of this opportunity. Back in Australia, the Townsville City Council in Queensland presents another brilliant art exhibition with Ephemera showcasing beautiful seaside sculptures just in time for its 20th anniversary. Let's join Eagle News correspondent Morgan Goodfellow as he takes us along. Morgan?
The Townsville City Council has provided regional artists with an opportunity to expose their talents within a national arena at this year's Ephemera art exhibition. As a part of the annual month-long North Australian Art Festival, Ephemera will be taking place between the 17th of July to the 25th of July along the Townsville Strand Coastal Boardwalk, hosting a variety of unique art presentations. Ephemera will be showcasing 29 sculptures by local and nationally renowned artists, including 20 competitive sculptures, 4 sculptures by invited artists, and 2 school projects. The 20 competitive artworks will not only be competing for their art to be displayed indefinitely in Townsville, but they will also be in the running for the $10,000 Award for Artistic Excellence Prize, as well as a $90,000 Acquisitive Prize proudly supported by the Queensland Government. The new Acquisitive Prize category, sponsored by the Queensland Government, will be building on an already constructed exhibition, with the winning sculpture to be included as part of an already existing permanent sculpture displayed along Townsville Strand.
I'm coming here for both the day and night to see how each of the art pieces look like during those times, the lighting effects and whatnot.
They come down to the Strand and the beauty of it. I also think it gets the brain thinking, and I'm not an arty type, but I've actually really enjoyed looking at the exhibition.
What positive benefit would the Ephemera Festival have to Townsville's community?
I think it's a beautiful reflection of the artistic power of the community, and also it has an obvious theme this year, which is sort of looking at waste and how we can recycle it. So it's clearly got that whole sustainability theme happening this year, and I think people are looking at the beauty of things that can be salvaged from the sea and that sort of thing. So I think it's it's a really positive message, and the artworks themselves are just some of them extraordinary.
Over the next 9 days and nights, the Townsville Strand Coastal Boardwalk will be transformed, engulfing the 2 kilometres of seaside into a sculptural exhibition for all to enjoy. If you happen to be in the area, be sure to check out this amazing display of sun, sand and art while you can. Reporting from Townsville, Australia, this is Morgan Goodfellow, Eagle News. We live in interesting times.
Thanks, Morgan. Townsville indeed never disappoints in bringing top quality art. Once again, here in Papua New Guinea, the Fundemic Games organized by the Filipino Association is back with exciting events for Filipinos to enjoy amidst the pandemic. More details in my report. Officers of the Filipino Association in Papua New Guinea, or FAPNAG, will once again bring an effective weapon to battle boredom and homesickness as they feature Fundemic Strikes Back with the 2K Medical Cup 2021. Excitement and thrill were visible in everyone's faces. Players, cheerers, and supporters were in complete attendance to witness this much-awaited event. The opening salvo was highlighted with the FAPNAG officers dressed up for fun as superheroes, inspired by movies, creative looks, and fancy clothes.
Okay. Yung mga games natin na tinatarget natin is meron tayong basketball and then we have incoming opening also ng badminton games, volleyball games for men's and women's, all-star game, meron din kaming mga naka-line up na siningit namin doon sa palaro ng basketball. So yung basketball natin is meron tayong 3 division yon. Meron tayong Eagle or we call it C1 division and the second one is the C2 which is we call it the Hawk division, and the third division which is the Old Star. Yun yung mga Pilipino natin na mga player which is above 40 years old.
Each team paraded in their uniforms and banners. Lovely muses were also present to serve as an inspiration to the team. The team digital billboard won the title Best in Uniform.
Lahat naman tayo, siguro kahit nga ako, magto 2 years na ako dito, I haven't been home. So, co-op na mga Pilipino, nag-jamming lang, and eventually pag nagbigyan tayo ng pagkakataon gaya nito na pwede na tayo magliga ulit. So, ayan, nagpapalaro tayo or whatever we can do. Like me, personally, I play badminton, I don't play basketball. So kami, nagkukumpul-kumpul kami mga nagbabadminton. Kung saan kami pumupunta just to make ourselves healthy and, pagpapawis din. So, ganun siguro, joining together lang, bonding sa mga friends, nawawala masyado yung namimiss natin yung mga pamilya natin sa Pilipinas, which lahat na homesickness natin. So, yun ang coping up siguro ng mga Pilipino dito sa Moresby, PNG as a whole.
As the game started inside the court, the players were flashing their potentials and competed with their fiery styles, then spiced up the battle that made the supporters roar. The players have engaged the viewers with so much excitement upon seeing their toughness on both ends, the defense and the offense.
Well, masaya po dahil kahit papaano, dahil sa aming stress, sa pandemic na nangyayari sa buong mundo, at least nagagawa pa rin natin yung ating stressful sa ating asosasyon. Masaya at maganda. Sana magtuloy-tuloy ang paliga nila. Paunti-unting nakaka-adjust naman na kahit papaano. And of course, kailangan pa rin natin mag-ingat sa ating paligid at siyempre iwas pa rin tayo. Sportsmanship lang kailangan natin. At saka hindi natin kailangan manakit o ano. Basta gawin lang natin kung anong nararapat. At saka maraming salamat sa lahat ng mga sumali. Dapat tuloy-tuloy lang ang ligaya. Atin to. Liga natin to.
The FAPNAG officers said that more projects are lined up for our kababayans, urging them all the more to visit, watch, and have fun participating in these games, as well as inspire all the Filipinos residing in Papua New Guinea.
We would like to thank first the Council for bringing up the Fundemic Strikes Back. Ito yung palaro natin for basketball, badminton, and volleyball. And nagpapasalamat kami sa lahat ng mga Pilipino na sumuporta. Inaalay namin to sa lahat ng mga atleta na nandito sa PNG upang mapanatili nating malusog, malakas, at kaya nating labanan ang pandemyang nangyari sa ating bansa. So again, we would like to thank all the councils for the support and napaka-importante rin pasalamatan yung ating mga sponsors. So hope you will support this FAPNANG activities. Lagi po dito sa FAPNANG Council.
The Filipino Association in Papua New Guinea will maintain its activeness in organizing events such as this to bring gladness and inspiration to all our kababayans in this country. We hope that there will be many more opportunities for Filipinos to gather here in Papua New Guinea, of course ensuring safety of all. And that ends today's program. Thank you for watching Eagle News International Australia Oceania. Join us again next week as we share more stories from our bureaus across Australia, New Zealand, and Papua New Guinea. Visit our websites on eaglenews.net and eaglenewslive.com. Follow us on twitter.com/eaglenews and on facebook.com/eaglenews. Stay safe, stay strong, and take care, everyone. From Port Moresby, Papua New Guinea, I am Echo Hortaleza Quinola, Eagle News. We live in interesting times.